This series is about how I, a bookkeeper, would speedrun filing my 2025 taxes in Canada as a small business owner or side hustler if I had not done so already. Late payment penalties suck, so the sooner you can get your 2025 taxes in, the better. Today I wanted to talk about claiming back medical or dental expenses that I had paid out of pocket. If you're a small business owner, you likely don't have insurance through an employer, so you'll definitely want to make sure that you're doing this. To find out how much I can claim back, I would need to know two numbers. First, I would need to know how much my business earned in 2025, and I covered how to do that in the first video in this series. If I did have any T4 income from 2025 as well, then I'd want to include that in the total too. For medical expenses, depending on which province you live in, you can include things like prescription medication, eye exams, eyeglasses, and contact lenses, dental work or orthodontics, massage therapy and acupuncture, physiotherapy and chiropractic care, counseling and psychotherapy, and travel medical insurance. Because there is some variation from province to province, if there is a service you're not sure if you can claim or not, it's always best to check with your accountant.
To total up how much I have in medical expenses, I would open up my bookkeeping spreadsheet, create a new sheet called medical expenses, and add date, description, and amount as column headers. Then I would just start adding one expense per line.
I would need to gather up all of my receipts from these services, but if I didn't have them, then I would just go through my bank statements and my credit card statements to find the transactions that were medical expenses. Just keep in mind that in the event of an audit by the CRA, you do need to be able to produce a receipt for anything that you've claimed, just your statement won't be enough. So if I didn't think I'd be able to get a copy of a receipt for something I was claiming, I'd probably just leave it off.
Once I had logged everything, then I would use, you guessed it, the sum formula to add them all up. I'll put it in the description in the comments of this video. Then below that, I would put my total income for the year in a cell. So that's any income your business or side hustle earned plus any T4 income and anything else. I would times that by 3% in a different cell using this formula. And then that is the maximum amount that I'm allowed to write off that year, maybe.
My maximum claimable amount for the year will be the lower number of my total medical expenses, 3% of my total income, or $2,834. That's the maximum that any Canadian can claim. So if, for example, I had earned $40,000 in 2025, the maximum amount that I could claim would be $1,200 because that's 3% of $40,000. But if I'd only spent $500 on medical expenses that year, then $500 would be my max claim. Let's say I'd earned $100,000 that year, then 3% of that would be $3,000, but that's over the maximum amount of $2,834, so I'd go with that number. And that's how I would get my medical expense write-offs for 2025. Next time we'll talk about things that you use for both business and personal and how much of that you can claim. See you then.